Hi there, I'm so excited to be here. My name is Brittany Dickson. I am your Miss Earth Australia 2020 and I'm 25 years old. I completed my bachelor's degree in animal and veterinary bioscience at the University of Sydney with honours, and I continued my work getting a job with the New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Service, and that really ties into my advocacy of wildlife conservation, which I'm so passionate about. Not just because I love animals, both great and small, but also because I think biodiversity loss is one of the biggest environmental issues that we need to address. It's so important not only for our economy, but also for our health and ecological life support. It's important for the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, and the food that we eat. And apart from this, during these current global pandemic times, it's so important to consider the fact that this all came about because of improper interactions with wildlife. So it's our duty to really respect and show our care for Mother Earth and nature.
How did COVID unfold in your country, and how did you react to it, Brittany?
So Australia has dealt with COVID-19 very effectively. I'm very proud of how our government has handled this situation. We've treated it as a global health emergency, and the statistics actually really support that, especially when we're considering us compared to other countries. And it's something I'm very proud of. And in Australia, we currently have we have had 26,000 cases diagnosed, with more than 24,000 people that have recovered. There's a bit over 1,000 active cases at the moment, and really unfortunately we have lost about 800 people, and my heart really goes out to all of their friends, families and loved ones. And I guess it just goes to show that we need to be responsible during this time. We need to practice proper hygiene, we need to socially distance, we need to use our personal protective equipment responsibly, and we need to continue utilising all of the resources that we have. So in Australia, most of the country isn't in a complete lockdown, so we can still go out and about. There's lots of really good options with that. So most venues have QR codes that you can scan, and that helps check in and trace where people are moving. And that way, if there is any outbreak or any cases diagnosed, we know where we can do and what we can do to effectively manage that.
What is your message to COVID-infected patients and their families who are experiencing discrimination right now?
My message would be just to never give up hope, and discrimination in these times is just something that isn't acceptable. We really need to open our hearts and accept these people and do everything in our power to help them. And for them struggling, really just keep pushing through. As a brain cancer survivor, I know that it can be challenging, but it's all about how we deal with those situations and how we come out on the other side. So my heart's with all of you, and I really hope that you get well soon. Lots of love.
Wow, I didn't know about that story, Brittany. That's a very good advice. I want to find out also in Australia what different programs have emerged in battling with COVID-19, or what are the initiatives towards having a better normal, as they say?
Yeah, so our government has actually committed a lot of money towards protecting mental health, and I think it's over $50 million for a mental health recovery package specifically for COVID-19, and that's in addition to a $74 million grant that's already working to help with mental health. There is a really big push for a renewable and a green future ahead. Whether or not that happens, I don't know just yet, but I'm really, really hopeful that we will embrace renewables coming out of this pandemic so we can have a brighter and a greener future.
Whatever you do, whatever issue comes up, the environment is always connected on it one way or the other. Christina, you mentioned about the improper disposal of the face masks, and I think that's true for almost all countries. Does this happen to you in Australia, Brittany?
Yeah, it certainly happened in Australia, and it's something that's really heartbreaking to see. I've seen stories that they're saying that there's going to be more face masks in the ocean than jellyfish. And as an island country and being surrounded by water and being in love with all of our beautiful beach and coastlines, that's something that's really hard for me to hear. But the good news is that lots of people, at least I've noticed, have been embracing reusable masks, and you can get some really cool designs and support local businesses, which I've seen a lot of people doing around the world, but certainly starting to take off in Australia too, which I'm really happy to see.
Despite all the restrictions concerning the COVID-19 pandemic, how do you manage to carry out your eco projects with your community? So we've seen a glimpse of this through your eco activities on the Miss Earth page, but can you elaborate on it more?
Yeah, so thanks to our Australian government who's tackled this really effectively. It hasn't been impacted too badly. I'm still actually working half days at my day job from home, which always contributes to conserving our native plants and animals. But in addition to that, I also volunteer with my local bush regeneration group, and they did close for a while because of lockdown, but they are open once a month every Saturday, and we spend a couple of hours contributing to different projects, whether that be watering plants or planting trees, or just weeding the area so native plants can flourish. That's something that I really enjoy doing. In addition to that, with Miss Earth Australia, we have shifted gears a little bit and also focused on other initiatives like our COVID-19 food drives to help international students. We have a very large Filipino community here in Australia, and I was so proud to be able to participate in that and to be able to help those people out during what can be a really difficult time, whether it just be a couple of words of encouragement or actually providing that food or a bit of money to help them get through this pandemic. But yeah, I haven't really stopped that much with my eco activities. Still going, still planting trees, and yeah, still trying to get involved in the community as much as possible, responsibly, always social distancing, wearing PPE where we're in an enclosed space, and yeah, making sure that we do pick up any of that personal protective equipment we do find lying around in the environment, because whilst we are encouraging people to change and switch to reusable products, not everyone is going to always do the right thing. So it's up to the good ones to try and help fix things up a bit.
So what advice would you give to the health sectors of your government?
Our government has listened to the experts in managing COVID-19. Some advice that I would give would be to really take this time to look at our legislation and to consider strengthening our environmental laws.
Do you think it's easier to do a virtual pageant or an actual pageant? Brittany.
So as you just saw, I had some technical issues there. So I think there are some things to consider when we are doing a virtual pageant. But I think in the spirit of Miss Earth, that it's a great idea. Environmental issues don't stop, so neither should we. And by not actually traveling to the Philippines, we are reducing our greenhouse gas emissions and our carbon footprint. So we're living out our advocacies from home and actually are being able to really showcase our countries and what we can do at a local scale rather than having to necessarily travel to the Philippines or wherever the pageant would be hosted. And it's a great opportunity. So
do several Zoom meetings or several Facebook Live calls a day. How do you battle with online fatigue?
Battle with online fatigue, honestly, I think it's just something that we do need to get used to, but it's very important to take breaks when you are sitting at a screen for a long time. And in the spirit of Miss Earth, one of the best things you can do is to get outside and take a walk for at least an hour a day, just to try and reconnect with nature, and it's great for your health and your body. And I am really, really grateful for Tessa Leconge from the Netherlands, who did set up that group chat for us. It was very congenial, and yes, we are connecting very, very great through there. And I do really enjoy watching all of the other girls' live streams, whether it be through the international bloggers or whether through yesterday's Earth chat. I also watched and tuned into that, and it's a great way to get to know people. And I'm really grateful that this is all going ahead like this, because it's still a great way to form lifelong friendships, and I definitely am making some really great friends already.
How have you all been maintaining that mental stability or just trying to keep that positivity within yourselves throughout this pandemic?
Able to reach out to others, and I do that a lot through social media. So I like to check in to see if other people are okay and offer my messages of support. And I even did that to cope with my diagnosis a number of years ago. I wanted to reach out and to be able to offer as much as I could to other people. And another thing I do is I have taken up cross stitching.
Oh, wow.
Right here. Whoops, sorry.
It's not a dead art. That's very interesting.
He's a toad. It's an animal and I love him, and I'm working on a really giant one of some birds, which is going to be really exciting.
My question is, for example, tomorrow somebody will tell you that things will be back to the old normal. Tomorrow, what is the first thing that you will do today? Anybody can answer. Gianna, you can answer as well.
I'm really excited to try and organize a trip to the Great Barrier Reef up in Queensland. I've wanted to volunteer and do some environmental restoration work there for a long time. And as soon as our borders open, which hopefully is really soon, I really want to get up there and participate in something, whether that be restoring mangroves that reduces the sediment runoff that's destroying our reef. I think it would be an amazing opportunity. So really getting out and participating more in environmental activities that I can't do from my home state, New South Wales.
What message would you give to a child right now who is in fear because of the COVID-19 pandemic?
To a child that's in fear of the COVID-19 pandemic is to not be afraid to continue living and to do exactly what you want to do to achieve in life. You don't let whatever challenges get in your way stop you, and you just push through and follow the directions of the people that are telling you what to do when you're a child. Make sure that you respect what you're being directed and just enjoy, live life, be happy, and enjoy exactly what you want to do.